All right, let's take a question or two from the audience. Start right here.
Tourism, tourism in Los Angeles is big. There's a lot of people coming from other places to visit the theme parks. Other than tourism, specifically, a lot of people there have spare rooms, they have spare buildings. And the city has decided that, well, you can only do that for a certain amount of time of the year because for what? We don't know, but we're going to do it anyway. Thoughts?
Well, the reason why actually is because there are properties that are being taken off of the rental market and being instead put on Airbnb to be put up for temporary housing instead of being available for our city for long-term housing. And there are a lot of properties that have been operated in that way, even in rental buildings and in hotels. And so that is the reason that the city has decided to make some restrictions on those Airbnb properties, and I support that in concept. And I would like to work with people who are opening up their properties occasionally. I mean, as I understand the new regulations, you can open up your property for a certain number of days per year to be put up on Airbnb, but if you're doing it for most of the year, then that should be a property that is available for longer term.
I've always believed that if your primary residence, you should be able to use it as you see fit as an Airbnb residence. But also I think that we should be making sure that we're taxing these places just as not to lose revenue from hotels, different industries that provide such an important piece of the economy of Los Angeles. That all the Airbnb owns be part of that system, but when it comes to rental places and using those, I agree. Taking so many different properties off the market, and sometimes it's hard to justify raising prices.
Thank you. Frank?
Sure. It comes down to the loss of the hotel bed tax. That's all they're concerned about. I mean, I definitely am. You're the property owner. Your property. You have the right to rent the bed and room out. So I don't think there should be any restrictions on your private property. You say. I do think there's a situation of Blockbuster not responding to Netflix, the horse and buggy not responding to the car. Now the hotel owners aren't responding to the Airbnb and they want someone to come in and do government intervention to save their revenue rather than adjust and do something different. So I am against that.
Stella.
So I was appointed a commissioner by Mayor Garcetti to the Los Angeles Tourism and Convention Center, where I have a lot of knowledge on this. Last year was a robust year of us having 50 million tourists coming to Los Angeles. We were very proud of it. That means generating millions and millions of dollars for the city of Los Angeles. To answer your specific question, I am for regulation for Airbnb when it comes to taxes. If they choose to use, if somebody chooses to use their private residence for most of the year for rental, they're allowed to do that. But then they must play ball and they must pay taxes on it. So that's where I stand.
You were to mention tourism. We're also noting that there's going to be some flagship events for our city, the Olympics and other huge events that are coming our way. And so absolutely see the need for people to provide some short-term rental property. But I share the sentiments of some of my colleagues here that the loss of housing long-term as part of our housing stock is a problem. Right? I do think that there should be some limitations. I also understand the need for some regulations. Up in the North Valley, we see the proliferation of some of these houses that go up, and then next thing you know, we turn into a party house. And LAPD has told me that they're having to stay vigilant to make sure that these properties are used for their intended purpose. But it's not to say that there aren't legitimate uses, but I do think it's consistent with the regulation.
Yeah.
So on the Airbnb type of concept issue, we do have to be careful that we don't sit here and allow people to waive existing city laws and protections. At the same time, there's that balance where people should have a right to use their home. Similar to the accessory dwelling unit in the city, LA has this ordinance, which does allow you, as long as it's not 2 times the size of your existing home, you can sit there and create another dwelling. So you have that freedom. I think that spirit needs to be carried out. But we do want to make sure we also protect our neighborhoods, because often renting out of rooms and other features of homes allows neighborhoods to be very unhappy with what happens with the type of use of the home. So we have to balance that. When it comes to tourism, I've been sitting here working on modernizing LAX, which is the gateway for all tourism, and I'm going to tie this together because there, a proprietary agent without tax dollars, we are sitting here able to watch pennies run the airport in the black, run it under schedule as to development projects, unlike the rest of the city. And at the same time, for example, just 1 million plus visitors from China in 2017, 15 million plus the other day. It's the whole economy of our city. And we need to sit here and take a look at how is it that in the last 3.5 years at LAX, we've been able to sit here and actually run in the black and do massive projects that are completely green, job empowerment, unlike the rest of the city. We take that spirit and we when it comes to regulation of homes.
And finally, Joe.
I won't repeat what to death. If you purchase a home, you are the homeowner. You have the right to do with your home what you wish, as long as it's within regulations of the city, within your HOA, which if you are not allowing Airbnb to operate and allow private homeowners to rent out the rooms or anyway a second income from homeowners, that is then probably turned into economic productivity somewhere else in the district. That's, if you purchase a home, you should have the right to do with it what you wish, as long as it's within regulations.
All right, we have time for one more question. Over here.
So I am here, I'm on the board of trustees of the North Los Angeles County Regional Center. I have a son, 17, he has autism. So for those of you who know, or who don't know actually, the Regional Center serves people with developmental disabilities, including autism, intellectual disability, epilepsy, cerebral palsy, and situations that present like that. So we are mostly concerned with things like housing, employment, accessibility, and transportation. The most important dignity of our consumers. There are about 20,000 people in our catchment area, which includes this area. 20,000 clients and their families that are all facing these issues. So we have a dialogue with the business community. That's why we're part of VICA. What I wanted to know from each of you is, what do you feel the government's role is in that? And also, what would you specifically do to help those people in our community?
John.
Well, I mean, that community service job that I talked about when I was 13 years old was working with the government. That's why I think it was so important for me in my last 16 years of my life to work closely with an organization called New Horizons, which I'm very familiar with, to raise them funds to provide different transportation needs, to address the housing types of things, but also providing dignity through jobs. One of the things that New Horizons, if you haven't been to, is we compete with any other company as far as packaging and shipping times, and we don't even tell the companies that we're doing with development disabled adults. And you know what? Our package alone, our productivity levels, our on-time shipping, that speaks for itself. So I think we have those opportunities, and I think the government's role in that is providing those providing those incentives for those businesses and organizations like New Horizons to run these businesses. So many of our different clients, we have partnerships with different places like Ralph's or different markets or different restaurants. There's no reason why the stigma should be there. There's some of any of our employees will tell you, they're the most productive of any of their employees. And so I think it's something that's important that we take with.
The key is to bring the issue from the dark into the light. You have a group of people that are forgotten and are or look past. At Valencia and Saugus High School, I was the administrator in charge of disabilities. So I always was looking for opportunities for transit opportunities. I always looking for opportunities for recreation. As a council member, we developed parks actually that were able to serviced by students and adults with disabilities. I was on the board of Pleasant View Industries for physically and mentally challenged adults, and for 20 years went out and actively looked for the VICA corporations where we could place excellent workers into the workforce, and those that we couldn't, we had work that was sent to the workshop for them to do. So it's a matter of having all individuals at the front of your minds that when you're doing a development, a park, opportunity is a partnership between your group and business partners.
So this is a very complicated thing. There is thousands of people with disabilities, and I feel the government is not doing enough for these folks. And I feel it's too long. We need to have social services, we need to have governmental funding, but we also need to create communities around where we live, where we can cater to disabled folks. And
Keep going.
and mom in our community approached me when I was a fundraiser 2 years ago, and they have created a private home for like daycare for their autistic adult kids. And I learned a lot about this issue where there are not services for education for folks who wanted to take this on themselves. So I will commit to look for funds that can enhance programs to benefit development and disabled, at jobs in their homes, in social environments.
So my perspective on this issue was framed by my father's almost 40 years ago with the California Department of Rehabilitation. I was working with people with disabilities, helping them find job placement and giving them inclusion. At the city level, I think it's important that we set up people who have disabilities for success. That means that they need technology in their place of employment that might help them be a little bit more accommodating and understanding the needs of that person. Whether there's other special accommodations that go beyond ADA that allow them to work in an environment where they can succeed. And so the city of LA should be partnering with companies to incentivize and to help them bridge that gap between what an able-bodied person can do in that place of employment and help that person who has developmental disabilities or even physical disabilities find that employment. Part of my work with Congressman Sherman is to be active in the community, to go out and see the great work of Blue Horizons, as mentioned by John, Officers Here to Get a Soul, and Health Group, and I've seen these groups do tremendous work, and I know the power and the dignity that's provided by these organizations in giving property work and work dignity to people, and it's important that we set them up for success in these.
Jeff?
So government can play a lot more of a role in this, specific to the question. First of all, we have group homes right here in CD12 that are specifically for disabled. We need to work a lot better to create awareness of the community of the importance of group homes. I actually knocked on the door of one last week, and somebody was coming over. And I know this very well because my oldest son is a client of the center, is looking at group homes. We also need to educate people of access to resources that the state provides through the county through places, because there's a huge disconnect. I will tell you as a parent of someone, my oldest son is really 31, that's when he's high functioning autistic. But it was really hard to sit here as an educated parent to get into the system. And I was really savvy. Most people are not savvy. Most people are clueless and think, for example, that homes that are group homes are troubling for the neighborhoods. The evidence is quite the opposite. They're quiet, they're productive, and they're not the type of people who people should be concerned about. And on a local level in the city, like, why doesn't the city have a registry for disability-friendly housing so that people who are disabled, whether there's somebody who's just physically disabled or disabled in other ways or combinations, can find access? So to me, it's a lot of education, awareness, and we need to have the city play a more active role in making it easier for group homes to exist and function, to make people aware of the problem. We just need to make it part of our local culture, of just part of our community. And we're not doing that.
Jeff? Josh?
I come from a family of ABA therapists. They also work with those who are physically disabled. So I guess get a different perspective as to the needs at a younger age. I think we need to look at Southern schools and how we're providing those who have autism or other behavioral disabilities with tools at a younger age to ensure that when they get to an older age and can get jobs from Enterprise and Material Soul, that they are, they have been working for a long time on making sure that they can be productive members in society and not be viewed any less than that. But the two things that I'll work as council members to do, one is expand the access program to Metro to ensure that we are giving more access to transportation. The second is using the discretionary funds in the council office to provide, say someone who's disabled in a wheelchair needs a ramp built up to the front of their home. Those funds should be available to them to provide that access to their home.
And Father Lorraine.
Thank you for the question. As a parent and a foster parent, I also have had the opportunity to make use of the services that Regional Center provides, so thank you very much for the work that you're doing in that. I would like for our city to help provide housing for all people in Los Angeles, including people who are differently abled. I would like for our city to help provide transportation for all people in our city, including people who are differently abled. I want to make sure that we are providing tremendous education programs for all people in Los Angeles, including people who are differently abled. And I want to make sure that our buildings are accessible to everybody in Los Angeles. And our sidewalks as well. Right now our sidewalks are in need of a lot of help in order to be passable by wheelchairs in particular. I also just want to mention, when I was an astrophysicist at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, my boss actually was someone who had a learning disability. So I also am very much aware that there are tremendous opportunities for people in all different forms of employment who have all different kinds of abilities. So one thing I would like to say is that I want to provide anti-bullying programs for children in particular in our city. I think that there are a lot of issues that come up in our schools and outside of our schools that have been affecting many children in our city, and that's another consideration.
All right, well, most of the number of qualified, viable candidates we had, we didn't have a chance for more than 5 questions. My friends in particular, I want to point out the restraint that I showed by not asking a transportation question. But it's now time to move to our 90-second closing statements, and Frank will lead us on.
I'm going to actually address transportation, just so he feels better. To me, transportation is just critical for many reasons. Obviously, as a business owner, someone that owns a corporation, if you can't get your employees to work, you don't have much going on during the day. But for me, a perspective was, we got to get those employees back to their homes with their families so they can be participative with their kids when it comes to athletics, whether it's soccer, whether it's basketball or a dance program, orchestra program. If you're spending literally 2.5, 3+ hours in a car, the quality of life you're going to have is nil. And so up in Santa Clarita, we had an issue where the community had turned down a road prior, and it really upset me. That's why I ran for office. And I put together a Transportation Alliance, put together federal, state, county leaders. We brought together $300 million, and we built the Cross Valley Connector. But it didn't stop there. But then we just started, my thing was open every road. There wasn't a bad road, and I just kept going, and people started jumping on. But we also built 3 Metrolink stations. We built 80 miles of off-road trails for bikes and pedestrians, because who's going to go on a street where people are doing 70 miles an hour? So you have to feel safe when you're riding your bike, so we did off-site. So when it comes to transportation, every single opportunity to get funding for any mode of transportation is a positive thing.
Stella?
So folks, one thing I didn't share with you, which is actually my lifetime commitment, is I've been a champion for gender equity all my life. I have created the largest women's gathering in California 15th year with over 800 attendees. When I created this event, Women for a New Los Angeles, the Me Too movement and the Time's Up stuff was not happening. So we created an amazing event telling powerful women's stories, empowering women from all different sectors, and now it's become a powerhouse of women and some great men attending it from all over the country. The other thing that I'm extremely proud of is creation of City of Justice Awards dinner. Perhaps few of you may have been there sometimes. This is one night a year where business, entertainment, labor, community, and electeds come together to share stories and to raise a lot of money. That has been my baby because I know how to bridge communities together. I have built the largest paid internship program for women from underserved communities from all over the country. Every summer they come to Lane, they get trained on campaigns, they get paid, and it creates a pipeline for work in the future. I have fought for working families for over 20 years. I know how to lead, I know how to shape policy, I know how to bridge communities together. I do hope you will get to know me better and I can earn your support. Thank you.
And Jeff Garland.
Thank you. Again, I'm Scott Abrams, and for the last 17 years I've been working in this district. Congressman Sherman's congressional district overlaps CD12 almost entirely. So these are the same neighborhoods that I've been working on policy issues for a long time. I've been meeting with realtors to understand how we can better meet the needs of the next generation for our housing supply. I've been meeting with Metro to understand the best course of action to improve the Orange Line and rail through the Sepulveda Pass. And I've been meeting with environmental advocates to understand the best course of action to deal with fires that have displaced people now twice, the Seskin Fire, the Woolsey Fire, response to the Lisa Payne gas leak, and many others. I've been meeting with neighborhood organizations like Valley Cultural Center on the nonprofit side, like FICA on the business side, like community organizations like neighborhood councils. And so I've been there and I've been providing services to the public, which I think will restore people's faith, the ability of government to get things done. It's something I taught as a high school civics teacher, that you have to be responsive to people, and if you need assistance, you have to call your local representative. But they want to know that someone's on the other line that's going to do the job. And that's what I've been doing for a long time here in this district. I've earned the support not just from the congressman for the area, the assemblywoman for the area, the former state senator for the area, and having a past chair like that, neighborhood council members. People understand that we need solutions to these problems, and it comes from someone who's been working in this community for a long time to provide these solutions.
I've been able to have the fortune of being one of the 7 people managing and controlling the airports where self-funded, no tax dollars, and we're able to sit here and do something that's so rare in the city. We actually operate in black. We actually do things on time. We actually are doing the most innovative partnerships, public-private, that's never been done. Changing city ordinances so we don't have to pick just the lowest bids. And doing it to change completely one of the worst airports to one that will soon be the beacon of LA and one of the great airports in the world. I want to take that same spirit and use it to address our streets, our business friendliness, which we don't have in the city. I want to take it to address our trees, our sidewalks. If we just did a fraction of what I could do at the airport and did that locally here and change the spirit of how we approach city government so we actually watch pennies. We actually work to sit here and maximize what we do. How refreshing would that be? And I will tell you that if you consider the candidates, I'm the only one who's been a commissioner for 15 and a half years continuously, the only one who has extensive 37 years of business experience, and I'm the only candidate who in my top 3 issues is making the city more business friendly. I raise the issue in every piece of literature I have on my website. I talk about it no matter what audience it is, whether it's a left, more leaning audience, because it's an issue for the city to have more higher paying jobs if you have businesses flourish. We all know that. We have no one in the council who has that background. We have no one in the council who seems to have any actual, real, practical skills. That is going to be what I will do as your council member. Thank you.
Gosh, standing up for this one. Well, thank you again, everybody, for the opportunity to be here. I will be the first to tell you I am not the most conventional candidate. 26-year-old young man who grew up in the Polk District, lived these issues like Sunshine Canyon, the landfill. I remember the smell in the 90s. I was there when the blowout happened, and now dealing with the San Antonio field lab. I dealt with trying to find a job in the 12th district. These are all things things that I have lived with. And I think it's time that we start to bridge the gap. You know, a lot of, in my generation, we get tired of hearing, oh, I'm with the young leaders and all these great young leaders of the next generation. Well, it's now our turn. We have our own ideas, we have our vision for the district and for the city. That is the plan that I put forth to you all today. It's in the brochures, it's all over the website. It's what I talk about on a daily basis. That I go door to door for 6 hours every day every day. And what I can promise you now is a partnership in government, not just for community leaders from around the district, from around the city, but for every citizen that happens to reside in the district. Government is a partnership. That is what I guarantee to everyone. And I thank you very much for your time. I hope to get to know you all a little bit more as we move on. Thank you. Right?
Thank you. The people of my district are looking for change. They're looking for something different than the same old, same old. They are looking for people who are not politicians. They're looking for people who will bring a new voice to the council. They're looking for a women's voice on the council, and even the voice of a mom that is just wanting to come to protect her kids. You know, the things that are happening in this race with respect to my candidacy are not things that were supposed to happen. Almost everybody up here is somebody who's very well politically connected. And I was the grassroots candidate who was the upstart candidate and not expected to do very well. But now I am the candidate with the most cash on hand of any candidate in this race. And my candidacy is speaking to people in my district. It's because people really want to have someone from their community that they know has been working in their community alongside them on issues from homelessness to Aliso Canyon to education to being a teacher in the community. It's also because my candidacy is speaking to people because of why I am running. I am running because I want to make the world a better place for my children, because I am concerned about their future. I am concerned about the future of my students and all of the young people in this world, and those are the kinds of people that we want to see on the city council.
Finally, John Lee.
Like all the other candidates up here, I don't need to make promises to the members of ICA, because I think you already know me and you know I can look into business. Building tax credits, we should be doubling it. The $30 billion industry in the state of California, most of it here in Los Angeles. Gross receipt tax, we should be lowering or even eliminating. When we did that for the new car industry, what happened? We brought in more new car dealerships to Los Angeles. But more importantly, of just luring businesses to Los Angeles, I think we need to take a look. When we talk to companies like Amazon and try to lure them here to Los Angeles, what are we doing for the businesses that are already thriving here in Los Angeles? What are we providing for you? We should be providing those same exact incentives to push you to create more jobs, to further enhance our economy. And that's what you have my commitment to do. I always hear the word change, throughout the campaign. We have the safest district in the city of Los Angeles. We have the best schools in the city of Los Angeles. Drive through our district, drive through any other district in the city of Los Angeles. Our streets and roads, we consistently get more streets paved in CD12 than any other district. Is that because we get more money? Or is that because I am somebody who understands a budget? I know how the city works. I don't, from day one, it's a cliche, but I can't hit the ground running. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, well, let's give a quick hand to
I want to say one thing. I've come to dozens of candidates forums in this room. I usually leave going, oh, we are screwed. Today, this was really a group of thoughtful, competent candidates. I leave here feeling this district's going to be represented by probably the most business-friendly representative on the entire city council. And as someone who has a little experience in this, I'm just so appreciative that you've all stepped up to run for office, given this so much thought, and really a wonderful presentation. So thank you very, very much.
very much agree with Fred Senator. Packed a lot of information into 90 minutes. And then to close this out, I turn it back to our vice chair, Lisa Britzner.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's all give to hand to Kobe too to read. And I too want to echo, actually Stuart was asking me, how do you think it's going? And I said, this is a really impressive group of people. So thank you guys so much for being here and taking your time and energy and to work to make Los Angeles a better place. We appreciate it very much. And I also want to thank our presenting sponsor, Mike Marsnick from State Farm. We couldn't do these without your investment in helping us learn more about the communities that we serve. I hope you guys will join us again at a future Leaders Forum, and we also are doing a Leaders Forum this Thursday with the Los Angeles Rams. So I hope if you haven't checked out the information on that event, please do so, or feel free to ask one of the Viking staff. And thank you again for being here. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Do it.